Welcome to my Chanel Most Worth Coins. WC Today videos is one you won't to miss. We're diving into the world of top 2 half-quarter dollar coins. So let's get it started. The 1976 United States Bicentennial Quarter. A timeless tribute to American history. The 1976 United States quarter dollar is one of the most iconic coins ever minted by the U.S. Mint, produced in honor of the nation's 200th anniversary. It's bicentennial. While it carries the face value of 25 cents, its design and historical importance make it far more than just loose change. Many people, especially casual collectors, mistakenly refer to this coin as a half-quarter dollar due to its unusual, reverse design and the presence of two dates, 1776-1976, which makes it stand out starkly from the typical quarters of its time. However, make no mistake, this coin is a regular U.S. quarter dollar redesigned to celebrate a monumental moment in American history. A historical milestone, celebrating the bicentennial, the year 1976, marked 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the U.S. government, along with the American people, celebrated this milestone with parades, festivities, and a patriotic wave that swept the nation. The U.S. Mint joined this celebration by authorizing special bicentennial designs on the reverse sides of 3 circulating coins: the quarter dollar, the half dollar, and the dollar coin. These special coins were issued only in 1975 and 1976, but all of them bear the dual date, 1776-1976. No quarters were struck with the date, 1975. During those 2 years, all quarters struck featured the commemorative bicentennial design. Design details, a unique look for a unique occasion. The obverse, front, of the 1976 quarter still features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This has been the standard portrait since 1932. However, the date area, where one would normally see the single-year date, displays 1776-1976, denoting the span of America's first 2 centuries of independence. Just below Washington's neck appears the mint mark, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, and to the left is the "In God We Trust." The word liberty arcs above Washington's head, just like in standard issues. The real standout of this coin is the reverse, back, which features a unique design that was selected through a nationwide contest. Artist Jack L.R. submitted the winning design, a colonial drummer boy standing proudly with a drum strapped across his chest. Behind him, a flame surrounded by 13 stars symbolizes the original 13 colonies. The United States of America arcs across the top, and quarter dollar sits along the bottom edge. Above the drummer's head appears the national motto, E pluribus unum. This striking design is one of the few times in U.S. history that a circulating coin broke with its traditional reverse design for a commemorative event, making it instantly recognizable even today. Minting locations and types. The bicentennial quarter was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, 2. Denver Mint, D, mint mark, 3. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced 2 versions of the quarter: a clad proof version, copper-nickel composition, a 40% silver proof and uncirculated version, included in special bicentennial silver sets sold to collectors' composition and physical specifications. The standard circulation bicentennial quarters were struck in a clad composition, which includes an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. However, the silver collector versions have a special 40% silver composition. Clad version, diameter, 24.3 mm weight, 5.67 grams, composition, 75% copper, 25% nickel over a copper core edge. Reeded silver version, diameter, 24.3 mm weight, 5.75 grams, composition, 40% silver, 60% copper edge. reeded mintage figures. These coins were produced in massive numbers, both for circulation and collectors. The total mintage exceeds 1.6 billion, making them very common in circulated grades. Here's a breakdown. Philadelphia, no mint mark. Approx. 809 million Denver, D. Approx. 860 million San Francisco, S. Clad proof. Approx. 7 million San Francisco, S. Silver proof and uncirculated. Approx. 11 million combined value and collectability. Because of the high mintage, most bicentennial quarters in circulation are worth face value, 25 cents, unless in exceptional condition. However, uncirculated and proof versions can hold collectible premiums, especially the silver issues. Here's a general idea of value as of today. Circulated 1776-1976. Clad quarter, 25 cents, uncirculated. Clad quarter, MS65 or better, 1.5 clad proof. Quarter, 540% silver. Proof uncirculated quarter, $5–15 depending on condition and silver prices. High-grade examples or certified coins can be worth significantly more, especially in grades MS67 and above errors and varieties. Although the bicentennial quarter does not have any major, widely recognized error types like some other coins, collectors do report minor variations and errors such as double dies, especially on the drummer's details or date. Die cracks off center strikes clipped planchets, striking anomalies. These can fetch premiums depending on visibility and severity, with more dramatic examples valued from $10 to several $100s. Cultural and historical legacy. More than just currency, the bicentennial quarter is a symbol of American patriotism and pride. It served not only as a circulating coin, but also as a token of national unity during a time of reflection and celebration. The U.S. Mint's decision to redesign the quarter for this occasion reflected the country's deep desire to commemorate its heritage through everyday items. Millions of Americans remember receiving or saving bicentennial quarters as children. For many, they were the first coin collected, and they remain emotionally significant to this day. Despite their availability, they are one of the most beloved coins in U.S. history. The 1976 bicentennial quarter is a piece of history in the palm of your hand. With its bold drummer boy design and patriotic dual date, it captures the spirit of America's 200th birthday in a way that few other coins can. Though not rare in the traditional sense, it holds immense cultural value and remains a treasured collectible for both novice and experienced coin enthusiasts. Whether clad or silver, circulated or proof, the 1776-1976 quarter is a timeless reminder of America's revolutionary beginnings and the enduring spirit of liberty. Would you like this formatted as a script or paired with visuals or a voiceover timing guide? The 1990 United States quarter dollar, a deep dive into history, design, and numismatic significance. The 1990 United States quarter dollar, commonly referred to as the Washington quarter, is an important piece of modern American coinage that represents not only a continuation of a long-standing design tradition, but also a key point in the history of U.S. currency. Although it is often colloquially called a half-quarter by some collectors or newcomers, perhaps due to confusion, with other denominations, this coin holds its place firmly as a standard 25-cent piece. The Washington quarter design, introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, had already become a mainstay in American pockets by 1990, and the coins of this year represent a solid example of late 20th century minting, techniques, and economic context. A brief background on the Washington Quarter series. The Washington Quarter was first issued in 1932, replacing the standing Liberty Quarter. It was initially intended as a one-year commemorative coin celebrating George Washington's bicentennial, but its popularity led to its adoption as the permanent design for the 25-cent denomination. John Flanagan's portrait of George Washington was based on a bust by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon, capturing a serious and authoritative likeness of the first U.S. president. Over the decades, the design saw minor modifications, but it remained largely unchanged on the obverse until the introduction of the State Quarters program in 1999. By 1990, the Washington Quarter had been in circulation for 58 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The 1990 issue is part of what numismatists consider the pre-statehood era of Washington Quarters, a period that reflects a more traditional and consistent aesthetic approach to coinage, before the U.S. Mint began introducing more frequent commemorative and circulating collectible series in the late 1990s and beyond. Design elements of the 1990 quarter dollar. The obverse of the 1990 quarter continues to feature the well-known image of George Washington facing left. The word liberty is inscribed above his head, with the national motto, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date, 1990, below his neck. The mint mark, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, appears just to the right of Washington's ponytail. The reverse, designed by Flanagan as well, displays a heraldic eagle with its wings spread, perched on a bundle of arrows with 2 olive branches beneath it. The reed, United States of America. At the top, a pluribus unum just above the eagle's head and quarter dollar at the bottom. This reverse design would remain in place until it was replaced in 1999 by the 50 State Quarters program. Composition and specifications. The 1990 quarter was struck in 2 major formats: circulation strikes made of copper-nickel-clad composition, and proof strikes, some of which were made in a 90% silver composition for collectors. Clad circulating quarter composition. Outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a core of pure copper diameter, 24.3 milliliter weight, 5.67 grams, edge, reeded silver-proof quarter. From 1990, silver-proof set, composition, 90% silver, 10% copper 8, weight, 6.25 grams, edge. Reeded, these coins were struck at 3 mints in 1990, Philadelphia P. No mint mark on older coins, but modern quarters like 1990s do include a P Denver, D San Francisco, S, only used for proof coins, mintage figures, and collectability. Mintage numbers for the 1990 quarter were relatively high, making them common in circulation today. Here's a breakdown of mintages by location. 1990 P, Philadelphia, approximately $613,792,000 struck. 1990 D, Denver, approximately $927,638,181 struck. 1990 S proof, San Francisco, approximately 2,640,000 proof coins, including silver and clad versions. Because of the high mintage, 1990 quarters are generally not rare, especially in circulated condition. However, collectors still seek them in uncirculated mint state grades, particularly MS65 and higher, and especially those with full strike details and clean surfaces. The silver-proof version is much scarcer in absolute numbers, but primarily holds collector value due to its silver content and pristine mirror-like appearance. Notable errors and varieties. While the 1990 quarter is not famous for any major or highly valuable errors, some minor die varieties and striking anomalies exist. Collectors have identified double dies, especially on the obverse, Liberty and God We Trust, although none have become headline varieties like the famous 1955 Lincoln Cent off-center strikes, caused when the plancher is not properly centered in the press. Clipped planchers or broad strikes, resulting from issues in the plancher cutting or striking process. These errors can fetch modest premiums depending on severity and condition. As always, authentication by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC is essential for value determination. Cultural and economic context of 1990. The 1990s marked a transitional period in both American culture and coinage. The Cold War was ending. The digital age was beginning, and the U.S. economy was entering a mild recession. While the average American may not have paid close attention to the coins in their pocket, the U.S. Mint was laying the groundwork for what would become a major revival in public interest in coin collecting. The 1990 quarter sat quietly in wallets and cash registers, performing its humble function even as sweeping changes were brewing in the numismatic world. In less than a decade, the U.S. Mint would roll out the enormously popular State Quarters program, spurring a new generation of collectors. But in 1990, the Washington quarter was still the same reliable, eagle-backed coin it had been for decades. Investment and value in today's market. In terms of monetary value, the 1990 quarter remains a modest coin unless in exceptional condition or of the silver-proof variety. Here's a general guide to its worth. Circulated 1990 P or D, face value 25 cents. Uncirculated MS65 Plus, around $110 depending on quality and grading. 1990 S clad proof 2419990 US. Silver proof $510 or more if silver prices rise. Errors chart varieties highly variable. Can range from $10 to over $100 depending on rarity. For collectors, the 1990 quarter is often valued more as a part of a full date or mint mark set than as a standalone rarity. While it may not be the most glamorous or valuable coin in American history, the 1990 Washington quarter represents an important chapter in the evolution of U.S. coinage. It's a snapshot of an era when tradition still dominated design and when coins were primarily utilitarian rather than artistic or commemorative. Whether you're a seasoned collector, a casual enthusiast, or someone just beginning to explore numismatics, the 1990 quarter is a reliable entry point into a fascinating world of American history, art, and economics, all wrapped into one small metallic disc.